Hey, hey, hey. How are you guys doing? Good afternoon. This is Dr. Katrina Esau, the creator and founder of Whole Wives Healing Openly, Leaving Him Exalted. How y'all been doing? So I just wanted to come on. First of all, let me just say this. I know you all always hear me talk about wives, two wives. Um, and that's where I started. That's still my niche is dealing with wives that have endured infidelity. But I want you to know if you're a woman and you say to me, Dr. K, I'm not married. I've been in a relationship for years, but we never got married, and I'm suffering and I need help. I help all women that has been impacted by infidelity. And so don't be turned off or think that you can't get help because my ministry, my business is Wives Healing Openly, Leaving Him Exalted, because you are included. You are a woman. So you are a woman healing openly, leaving him exalted. I just wanted to start out with that because I often get inquiries or have conversation with women that either they never married, maybe they're, engaged, or they're just in a relationship. And it doesn't matter whether you're married, divorced, separated. It doesn't matter where you are in the relationship. If you are hurting from the pain of infidelity, those are the women that I tend to cater to because that's my story. That's what I went through 17 years ago. And thank God I'm on the other side now. I'm healed and I'm in a place where I can share and help other women get to this place called joy, get to this place called peace, get to this place of where you no longer have to be a private investigator. And so I just wanted to say that because I was at a conference this past weekend and there were women of all different walks. And, I had the privilege of sharing my story with them and encouraging them. And one thing that comes up all the time, I don't care whether I am talking to women at a conference, whether I'm talking to somebody in the store and it happens to come up, or they say, hey, I saw your book, or I got your book, or a friend told me about you, or if it's the ladies that are engaged on my page or YouTube, Instagram, or even in the private group that I have on Facebook, no matter where, it always comes up in terms of how women feel. They feel alone. They feel like there's nobody that understands. People don't get it when I talk about it. And so you feel some kind of way. And I wanted to come on to tell you today that you're not alone. People may not understand it. We all know what cheating is. A lot of people have been cheated on. Research shows that 1 in 2.7 couples have been impacted by infidelity. So it hits almost 1 in every 3. So we know, but we've been taught certain things in our churches as we grew up, in our families. We've been taught, what happens in this house stays in this house. And girl, he taking care of the kids and he providing for you. You better just hush and deal with it. We've been taught so many different things that we don't even know how to articulate the pain. We don't know how to articulate what we're going through, especially if you haven't been in our shoes. You don't really understand the pain. People tell you just forgive them and get over it, or, you need to go about your business and forget. That pain is something tough, y'all. It's not that simple. It's not that simple to just tell somebody you need to get over it or just forgive them. We hear that all the time, forgive, but people don't tell you that forgiveness is a process. People don't tell you that there's stages to forgiveness, because I run into women, they say, well, I forgave him. I feel like I forgave him, but, I still I don't trust him. Or, when I think about what happened or how it happened, when I see pictures, it reminds me of, what I thought it was and it really wasn't. And, I'm still hurting behind it. Those are all indicators and flags that you haven't forgiven. Yeah, you said the words, but forgiveness is a process, y'all. It's a process and it takes some time. There's levels. Maybe you forgave him, you said the words that you forgave him, but the way to know that you've truly forgiven somebody is you don't have a negative attachment. You don't have a negative response to what they do, what they say, not even just that person. Listen to yourself when you're having conversations, with your girlfriends and they start talking about all men are cheaters. How are you responding to that? What are you saying? If you can easily jump on that red wagon and you can remember, well, girl, because he did this to me, you ain't forgave. I'm sorry to tell you, but you haven't. And so I just want you to know you're not crazy. You're not crazy and you are not alone. The other thing that often comes up is the images. And some of them are images because you've seen the other woman, you caught them perhaps, and other images are those that you have formulated yourself. And what I mean by that is maybe you never caught him with the other woman, but he told you he cheated. And so you go through, and especially if it's a person, if it's a man that won't share, won't give you the details, still spotting on what he's saying, you will make up your own story. We're very good about doing that as women. You give us something and we'll just, since you won't tell me, I'll just make it up the way that I believe it happened. And we torment ourselves because we play that reel over and over and over again. I know for me, I was able to see two of the women that my husband cheated with. And so there were times where I would be visualizing them and like what happened. And you start thinking about sexual things. And especially if you have gotten to the place to where you can have sexual intercourse again with your husband since it happened, that first time, or I don't even know how long you are there, you're having intercourse with him, but you are thinking about or wondering if he's thinking about her. Everybody does it. I know I did, and so you're not the only one that thinks those kinds of things. You're not the only one that sees those images. You're not the only one that plays the reel over and over and over and over again in your head. It's not just you. So don't think you're crazy. The thing about it is men have a way of making us feel like we done lost our mind. Like we stupid, like we crazy, like we didn't see what we saw, we didn't hear what we heard. They have a very cunning way of doing that, and they do it so smoothly. You believe it sometimes. You be like, well, wait a minute, am I putting too much in this? Am I reading too much in it? You're probably not. It's just that they don't want to tell the truth. They haven't gotten to that place where they can tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And so you have to be careful and just know that you're not the only one. You're not by yourself. I promise you, you're not by yourself. And the other thing is, what are you saying to yourself? That self-talk when you've been hurt, when you've been cheated on, it can sound real jacked up. But if you're not careful, that negative self-talk, what you're saying to yourself, I'm stupid, I should have saw the signs, I knew, he wasn't telling me the truth, I saw everything, but I kept overriding it, I was too naive, I was too green, you say all these different things to yourself. But let me just tell you, cheating is a choice. It is a conscious choice that somebody makes. It has nothing to do with you. It is not your fault. You are not the reason. It ain't got nothing to do with the way you look or what you didn't do, what you did do, what you said. It has nothing to do with that, because you can't fix something on the inside by going outside. That's a choice that person made, and that's their decision, and they will have the consequences that come with that. So change your self-talk. It needs to be positive. Encourage yourself. Make sure you are around positive people, because if your friends is, egging you on and girl, I told you stupid behind that he was cheating. I even showed you. I showed you. I gave you the phone call. I gave you, all this kind of stuff. People don't think, and they're so insensitive. So just make sure. You might have to cut some relationships off. You may have to separate yourself from some people, because it's not healthy. It's not conducive for you to heal with that kind of negativity being constantly spoken in your ear gates. I tell you guys all the time, you have to protect your ear gates and your eye gates, because you will create a movie reel. and you will play it over and over and over again. And it's hard to pull down that stronghold. So make sure that you are very conscientious about who you are surrounding yourself with, what you are listening to, what you're saying to yourself, the images. You have to interrupt that stuff. I've shared with you before, if you are saying your alphabet, you can't say that and count to 10 at the same time. You're going to have to stop doing one of them. So when those negative thoughts come, when those negative images come, you're going to have to interrupt them. And you're going to have to start speaking over yourself and declaring and decreeing over yourself. You have got to open up your mouth. You can't just outthink a thought. It don't work. You can't be thinking all this negative stuff and then you thinking, you're trying to think positive. No, open your mouth to interrupt the thought, interrupt that negativity and say something positive over yourself, over your life, over your marriage, over your relationship. You got to do it. I can't do it for you. I can only give you the tools. You got to execute though. So make sure you are paying attention to that. That's going to help you to see you're not crazy. You're not crazy and you are not alone. The other thing is, the depression and the emotions is real. Is so real, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all, don't play with it. Because the thing about it, you can have a great day, you can have a great week, you can have a great few months. And then a trigger happens and that thing will jack your emotions up. Your emotions can go all over the place within the course of a day, within the course of an hour, within minutes. You can go from being happy, hear a song, and now you sad. You can be all over the place. Listen, I'm telling y'all, I struggled with my emotions so badly. They were leading me. They were controlling me. I was making decisions based on my emotions. They had me jacked up. It was that emotional roller coaster is what got me to the point where I say, girl, you got to get help. I have a strong relationship with God, But those emotions, that was when it's like, okay, you're going to have to take this thing a step further. I had to go to somebody that was skilled, that was educated, and was able to give me resources and techniques on how to interrupt them thoughts and how to get my emotions under control. Because I refuse. I got time like, y'all not going to be leading and guiding me because y'all ain't even on my side. Y'all lead me into foolery. So what you ain't going to do is drive this car over here. Dr. K had to eject the emotions up out of the driver's seat because it had me crazy. Listen, you got to go. And so I'm telling you, you're not by yourself, and don't take it for granted. Get the help you need. If you need to get a psychologist, a psychiatrist, if you need to seek a counselor, do that. But when you do it, as I always say, make sure you find somebody that you're going to tell the truth to. Because if you go in there telling them people your head hurt when your daggone arm is broken, you're going to walk out of there with a broken arm. So go to somebody you're going to be able to tell the truth to. When we were looking for counselors, we started with our pastors. That didn't work because we wasn't telling the truth. We weren't telling everything because we were afraid that they were going to judge us. We were wondering what they were going to say. So we sugarcoated stuff, and we would see those, what they call them, false starts. If you got a stick shift, if you ever driven a stick, they have a false start. And so we would have that, and we wouldn't get nowhere, and it's like, this ain't working. So I had to go and find a counselor, somebody that did not know me. I don't care what you think of me. I don't care what you say about me. I'm finna come sit on your couch and we finna talk. And so if that's what you got to do, do it. My husband and I, we did individual counseling. Then we did couples counseling, because there are some things that you got to deal with on your own. There are some things that happened in your life when you were early that has contributed to the dysfunction in your home, in your relationship, in your marriage. The same thing for with your husband. And then so you got two dysfunctional people that have come together and it has manifested. So it's deep, y'all. Don't be going in, trying to put band-aids on broken arms. This thing is serious. It's serious. And I take it serious because, like I said, I've been there. I've been where you are. But I do know that you can get to a place called healed. I know you can get to a place called joy. I know you can get to a place where you're no longer walking in shame and guilt and embarrassment. You can get to a place where you're not scared to open up your mouth and share your story and tell the truth about it. You can get there. Are you going to get there overnight? No. Are you going to get there in 6 weeks? Probably not. Are you going to get there in 6 months or a year? I don't know. Probably not. It depends on the infraction, how deep it is, and how you are going to decide to handle it and to come out of it. It took me some time. It took me probably about 7+ years. It took longer than 7 years. Let me stop. It took probably, I would say, about 8 years. It took before I got to a place called healed. Yeah, it did take that long. But what my hope is that you will learn from me. You will learn the things that I learned. You will use the tools and strategies that God gave me, and you can cut your time in half. You see, another reason it took me so long is because we separated for 3 years. He then went to prison for 3 years. And so it didn't really matter what he told me while he was locked up. When he came home, you got to show me, you got to put some action on it. And so what I thought was healed, I had suppressed it. It wasn't healed. I had suppressed it, and I just had learned how to deal with it because he wasn't there. And so when he came home, all that stuff came rushing back up. It came rushing back up like it had just happened yesterday. And so we had to really start dealing with it because it wasn't no longer where he was away and I was only seeing him on the weekends. You up in my face every day. And I got to deal with you and visualizing you with some other chick. What? Yeah, I was the wife. I when I first came out and started sharing, I was the married side chick, and that's exactly what I was. I was married to him, but I was the one on the side. How you married and become the side piece? What you say? I did. And so that's why it took us so long. It took a minute. And so I'm hoping you don't have to take that long, but it can. I have people that have been 20 years and they have just dealt with it. They are existing in life. They don't want to have the hard conversations. They don't want to get to the root of the issues, and they tolerate each other. I didn't want that. I didn't want that. If you're not going to fix this and you're not going to give me the joy and the peace, if you're not going to give me the relationship that you talk about in the word, I don't want none of this. Because I don't want to exist with anybody. You promised in your word that I would have life and that more abundantly. I don't want to existing is not abundant life. And I don't want existing. I want abundant life. I want to love my husband. I want to be in love with my husband. I want to enjoy him. I don't want to miss moments because I'm thinking about what he did. I don't want to be doing no private investigative stuff, going through no phones. I don't want to do any of that. So if you are not going to heal, and if you are not going to give me what you say, then I don't want it. And God is a God he's a great God. He's a great God. Even when I was hurting and was going through and I was like, God, I don't want to do it no more. He would tell me, I got to. Number one, you ask. So be careful what you ask for. And he would say, it's contrary to my word. I can't just pour new wine into old wineskins. I just can't, snap. Not that he couldn't. He's God. He's the omnipotent one. But he's not going to just snap his finger and make things better and not deal with the root of the issues. I had to learn that I had unforgiveness toward my father that I didn't know. I had to learn that I had issues with trust and where they originated from. There's some things that happened when you were a little child. It started early. That's contributing to the way that you are acting, to the way that you are handling the situation, to the way that things are now in your union. And so you gotta be surrendered and allow God to heal. I know that he can, I know that he will, because if he did it for me, he'll do it for you. So don't take it for granted. Don't take it lightly. Don't forsake and think that, it's just my emotions and that's the way. No, God gave us emotions for a reason, but he did not give them to us for them to control us. We have the authority. We have the power, and so I want you to walk in your power. I want you to walk in your authority. I want you to get off that roller coaster. Get off the roller coaster. Get off the roller coaster. Turn off the repeat button. Turn it off. Take the record off of there. It's stuck. You remember back in the day where you have the album playing and it got a scratch on it and it just, that's where you are. No, don't put the nickel on it. Don't put no quarter on it to try to make it. Stop it. Just lift it up. Lift it up right now and get yourself out of that slump and know that you're not crazy, So that's all I wanted to share. I wanted to encourage you with that because, like I said, I don't care where I am. It always comes up. it always, always, always comes up where women tell me how they think, they feel like they're crazy and they think they're alone and they don't have people to talk to that's been through it. And I'm grateful to God that he allows them to come in contact with me that I can share. You're not crazy. You're not alone. I've been where you are. I have been where you are. And I can stand here today and tell you that there is peace on the other side. Just don't stop. There is joy on the other side. You can laugh for real with your children. You can laugh for real with your friends. You can go out and be great. You can choose happiness. You can choose joy, the kind of joy that the world didn't give it to you, so they can't take it from you. You don't have to be on antidepressants. You don't have to be. There is a remedy. There's a remedy. Now listen, don't be saying Dr. K told you to stop taking no medicine. Get assistance. Don't allow cheating and the pain of it to be the cause that you having to take medicine. Take care of you. Take care of you. Take care of you. I can't say it enough. Get your behind in the word. Get you a coach. Reach out to Dr. K. Get the help that you need. Make the investment that you need to make in you so that you can be healed, so that you can be present in this thing called life. Don't just exist. Don't just exist. One of my mentors told me, Katrina, don't die at 30 and get buried at 80. You're probably trying to figure it out. That means you stop living. You stop caring about anything at the age of 30, but you're still alive. You ain't dead. But you died at 80, and that's when they bury you. And so you have 50 years of just existing. The devil is a liar. I want everything God promised me. And he promised me abundant life. He promised me I was the head and not the tail. He promised me some things, y'all. And so I want all of that. And I'm not going to allow cheating and infidelity or the pain of it to keep me bound. So be encouraged today. Be encouraged and know that you're not alone and that there is help on the other side if you just keep putting one foot in front of the other one. All right. I love y'all, and make sure that you subscribe, that you follow, that you like, that you share, that you do all that stuff you're supposed to do. And just make sure that you are getting the help and the resources that you need. Until next time, take care.